1 week after the majority in Parliament requested an emergency sitting of Parliament, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin is still yet to reconvene the House. Sources within the majority are alleging the Speaker may be breaching the Constitution and the standing orders of the House. Let's get more on this. Kwadwo Owusu is our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent. He's joined me in the studio. Kwadwo Owusu, when did the majority make the request for the Speaker to reconvene Parliament?
Well, on Thursday, 1st May, we had indication that the majority were pushing to get the Speaker to reconvene Parliament for this emergency sitting. And so we understand that exactly on the 2nd May, that is when this letter reached the Speaker of Parliament. On the 1st May, we had gotten indication that the letter had already gone to the Speaker of Parliament. But from information we are getting from the office of the Speaker of Parliament, they actually received this letter on Friday, 3rd May at 11:43 a.m. That is the majority leader's memo from Alexander Afenyo marking to the Speaker. Attached to that, over 100 members of Parliament on the majority side requesting an urgent emergency session of Parliament to consider what they called key government business. So 11:43 a.m. on the 3rd May, that was a Friday, exactly a week today, the Speaker of Parliament received this letter.
What does the Constitution and the standing orders of the House say about this?
Well, if you look at Article 1123 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, it says that notwithstanding any other provision of this article, 15% of members of Parliament may request a meeting of Parliament, and the Speaker shall within 7 days after the receipt of the request summon Parliament. That is what Article 1123 of the 1992 Constitution says. If you look at Order 53 of the Standing Orders of the House, it literally repeats what the Constitution says. It says, despite any other provision, 15% of members of Parliament may request a meeting of Parliament, and the Speaker shall, within 7 days after the receipt of the request, summon Parliament. The Parliament shall reconvene within 7 days after the issuance of the notice of the summons. So you look at these two constitutional and standing orders, they all say that the Speaker of Parliament shall, it's a mandatory shall, that within 7 days of the majority leader or any member of Parliament getting 15% of MPs to sign on to this requesting for emergency sitting of the House shall convene. And if you look at the dates now, we understand the majority leader wrote this memo on the 2nd of May. It got to the Speaker on the 3rd of May. If you start counting from then up until today, we have 6 days. That is still within the 7 days. And so the expectation was that as of today, the Speaker of Parliament should have written to the majority leadership and also announced by way of an instrument of invitation requesting that all members of Parliament reconvene to sit for this emergency sitting. The Speaker of Parliament, as we know now, has not done so. In fact, our understanding is that he is still not in the country as of now. He's still outside the country, undertaking some official duties. But the concern of the majority is that he may be breaching the Constitution, given that he is within the 7 days. He has not requested. But because on Monday would have been the 7th day, and right after that, he would have left within the 7 days window. And that is why they are piling this pressure on him to act now.
Have we heard from the majority on what they intend to do about this?
I've been trying all morning to try and get the majority leadership to get to speak on what exactly their strategy is. It's exactly a week today also that they organized that news conference where they piled the pressure on the Speaker of Parliament to do this recall. But sources are in the majority are tight-lipped a bit about the situation. What we are getting told is that they want to exhaust all their mechanisms, they want to exhaust all their processes. But they say this is something they are taking seriously. This is the Constitution of the Republic. This is the standing orders of the House. And they say if the Speaker is found to have breached it, they'll be pushing to get him removed even. And that is how serious they attach to this invitation that they have sent to the Speaker. They say the day has not ended. If the Speaker can't act, he should act and reconvene the House to sit.
Thankfully, I've been joined by Roxton Nelson Dafiamekpo. He's MP for South Dine, a member of the Constitutional and Parliamentary Affairs. Grateful for your time. Do you agree the Speaker is breaching the Constitution and standing orders?
Sorry? Hello?
Do you agree that the Speaker is breaching the Constitution and the standing orders of the House by not responding to the majority that requested for a recall?
Who is making that allegation and what is the I've just been called into the program, so
Mr. Dafiamekpo, some 7 days ago, the majority leader, Fenyo Markin, called and they actually wrote to the Speaker for demanding that the Speaker recalls the House for some urgent government business. And they say if the Speaker hasn't responded after 7 days, he will be breaching the Constitution and the standing orders of the House. And we're asking if you agree the Speaker is actually breaching the Constitution and the standing orders of the House.
First of all, I need to know when the majority sent a motion to the Speaker for request for Speaker to summon the House.
It was on the 2nd of May.
On the 2nd of May?
Yes.
And today is the 10th of May?
Yes.
And they have evidence that they delivered the request to Speaker?
Hold on for me. When did the Speaker receive the letter?
Well, so the letter from the information we are getting from the Speaker's office, it was received on the 3rd of May, that is Friday, at 11:43 a.m.
Okay.
So if you count from Friday till today, that is exactly a week. But in terms of weekdays, that is 5 days. If you add the Friday itself that the Speaker received the letter, that would be 6 days.
Okay.
Now, the Speaker has not breached the Constitution, nor breached the standing orders. So let's be very clear about that. The majority leader knows what he has to do under the standing orders. The standing orders are very clear. What is the procedure? If any time I step out from it, the contact shall clear. You bring the motion, a report supported by signatures of at least 15% of the 255, which sums up of 43 signatures. If that requirement is met, then the Speaker will have to, within the standing orders, issue the summons and recall within 7 days. So the issuance only head of Speaker's secretariat, because in the absence of the Speaker, we have the first deputy Speaker who will act. In the absence of the first deputy Speaker, the second deputy Speaker will act. Is the majority leader saying that in the absence of the Speaker, nobody can act? The first deputy Speaker is a member of Parliament on the ticket of the NDC. The second deputy Speaker is an independent member of Parliament who is caucusing or doing business with the majority in Parliament. So what is their beef?
But the first deputy Speaker can only act if he is given the permission by the Speaker. Correct?
Is that the law? Is that what the Constitution says?
It's only when the Speaker is unable to perform the functions. That's when the deputy Speaker steps in.
Yeah. So I am saying that if the Speaker is outside of the jurisdiction, can the first deputy Speaker act? And if the first deputy Speaker is unavailable, can the second deputy Speaker act? They should stop this foul propaganda against the Speaker. The Speaker, I recall, issued a letter 2 weeks ago telling them that it's available, it's unavailable to work. They went to sleep. And then they woke up last week to claim that they issued a request for the House to be recalled. If that was sent to the office of the Speaker in his absence, I believe that the Secretariat of the Speaker, which is also made up by the second and first deputy speakers, can act. But the Speaker made it clear that even in his absence, the House can be successfully recalled. And I believe that they haven't even bothered to read that letter. That is why they'll go to the media and say all sorts of things. But let the record reflect that when the House is properly called upon for the Speaker to recall the House, the appropriate thing will be done. So the call that the Speaker, the threat that the Speaker is in breach of the Constitution is neither here nor there. It is hot air. It is time the majority put their house in order and do the appropriate thing.
So the first deputy Speaker can actually act on this.
Is that not what the Constitution says?
Right. So if it's not available, the second deputy Speaker can also act on it.
Isa, is that not what the Constitution prescribes? In any case, is that not what has been happening for all these years? That the absence of the speaker, the first speaker, function?
Right, I'm grateful for your time. Roxanne Nelson Dafiameko is MP for South Dai. He's also a member of the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament. We'll see how this unfolds as they stake for the office of the Speaker to act on this letter. Now, the National Democratic Congress has launched a scathing attack on the Electoral Commission as it accuses the Elections Management Body of planning to add names of people to the voters' register at the blind side of political parties. The party is saying this due to the denial of the Commission to grant it access to the serial numbers of the various BVRs being used for the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. The NDC and the EC are clearly on a warpath, with the main opposition party asking its agents across the country to resist the Commission as EC denies access to serial numbers on biometric registration kits. Chairman of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, has been addressing these issues in this report by Papani Ashale.
NDC says they do not trust the integrity of the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who is the chairman of the party, says they are monitoring and they are not happy about the situation.
As we speak to you, these questions remain unanswered. The Electoral Commission cannot expect the NDC to believe and trust that all is well with their equipment and their preparations getting into these 2024 December elections. Don't ask me about trust of Electoral Commission anymore. Because we all know that trust can never be the basis of any election. The NDC has always been suspicious that the stolen kits could be used to illegally register some people in order to add them to the voters' register. If hardware can be stolen under CCTV surveillance, why not an activation code?
The party says, as part of measures to police the limited voter registration exercise, they have instructed all their agents across the country at every registration center to make sure they capture the serial numbers of the devices being used in order to verify them later.
Why is the EC resisting and stopping NDC registration agents from recording the serial numbers of biometric voter registration kits? Why? The question is, what does the EC have to hide? What is their fear over the mere recording of the serial numbers of these BVR kits? What about the stolen ones? Were they not stolen together with their serial numbers? Is the Electoral Commission maintaining that the serial numbers pose security risks to the integrity of the whole system? And if so, how can the same math be telling us that we shouldn't mind? Because after all, those that have been stolen by thieves are of no consequences if they are not activated. Number 2, knowledge of the serial numbers could enable targeted attacks on specific BVR kits located at certain parts of the country, thereby causing chaos, political conflict, and operational challenges. Why? If the people down there know always the serial numbers of BVD kits that are there, and that one has not posed any operational challenge, how would the serial number of the counterpart that is used to capture the data pose a security risk. So my simple answer to them is that, Madam Jim Mensah, your release is not worth the cost of the paper it was written on. A notice is hereby served that NDC registration agents across the country will resist the EC's clandestine attempts aimed at diminishing transparency in the voter registration exercise. Let me emphasize that our agents must activate the party's high-tech application systems to transmit all serial numbers of BVR kits in their district and electoral areas to the National Elections and IT Directorate of the party, with or without the power of the Electoral Commission.
Responding to a directive from the EC to their agents on the ground to switch to manual mode if the online system continues to pose some challenges. Johnson Asiedu Nketia says the party was not consulted before that decision was taken.
The switch to offline, it wasn't discussed, was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't discussed. They just decided to do what they want to do. That suddenly the internet is not working.
The NDC says in due time, they will give a holistic appraisal of the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
A new patriotic party is meanwhile backing the Electoral Commission's decision to reject the National Democratic Congress request to collect serial numbers of all biometric verification devices in the ongoing limited registration exercise. The NDC says this will help track the process, but the EC, in response through a statement, said it could not allow that nor release the serial numbers due to security reasons. Speaking on Top Story last night, national organizer of the NPP, Henry Nana Boakye, backed the decision of the EC, saying it's in the right direction.
To the national chairman, I was wondering whether the NDC would want to assume the responsibility of the Electoral Commission. And I was even surprised when I gathered that it was the national chairman that put out the press engagement. It was very astonishing because he's very experienced in this. At the end of the day, what are we looking for? What they are seeking or the request they are making would compromise the security of the entire election process. And that is what the Electoral Commission has said.
Meanwhile, Director of Electoral Services at the EC, Dr. Shribo Kwaku, has expressed his personal reservations about the use of the offline mode for the registration exercise following widespread technical challenges. Speaking to Joy News, Dr. Kwaku observed that the offline devices come with its own attendant challenges.
Yeah, so today we allowed them to go offline. So we are expecting to have higher number than the first 2 days.
But how can people trust that in fact the offline data will not be compromised in a way?
Offline data will not be what?
Will not be compromised in a way because it's offline. It's not open such that people can then go and trace.
The agents are there. Whether it's offline or online, the agents are there. And they are supposed to be given the start of day and the end of day. So I don't see where the compromise will come in.
I mean, some political parties are worried about this whole offline thing. That's why I'm asking that. How
the offline, I myself, to be frank with you, I'm not comfortable with the offline. The reason being that people who have already registered may succeed in doing registration. Yeah, and you can only detect it after the duplication has taken place. And that may lead to people being disenfranchised. Because once you do multiple registration, your name will be off. So I myself will always go for the online. But because we're having challenges, that's why we try to go the offline. So my prayer is that all the interconnectivity issues will be addressed so that we will go online to eliminate the possibility of people doing multiple registration.
So from day one till today, how many people do we know have been able to register?
So far, I know we have covered more than 33,000, yes.
Okay, 33,000 people. Do we have a figure, that we...
And my information is that the first day we did around 17, and yesterday we did around 16.
So what's our target?
No, we are targeting 623,000 for the 21 days.
Okay, but I mean, Doc, when the chairman of the NDC says that if you do not give the data or give them the serial numbers,
I did not listen to that. So I don't want to comment
I get it, but we just need education here. That they say that if you do,
please let's go by the education. I don't want to be responding to press conference I have not listened to. So when I go home, I'll take my time. We listen to the press conference. Then I will read our statement. Then I can begin to react to them subsequently.
But I mean, the decision to go offline, was there a consultation between you and the political parties?
Everybody knows that when we are doing registration, we do offline and online. So we don't need to consult again before. Everybody who attended the APAC meeting knows that in the course of challenges, we'll go offline.
But I mean, the chairman...
And in all my deliberations on air, I've been saying that we are going online, but when the need arises, we'll go offline. It's one of the modus of operandi of the activities. So going offline, we don't need to discuss it because everybody knows that's part of the issues, especially even those who were going mobile. There are areas where there are no network at all, so you can't do online. So anytime we do registration, we'll combine the two.
Away from the EC and the limited voter registration, the public sector is busting its seams and cannot be relied upon to provide the employment needs for the people. That's according to Senior Presidential Advisor Asamoah. Mr. Asamoah says unemployment is now the biggest problem of the country and requires innovative approaches from both the public and private sectors to deal with the menace. He's been speaking at a national stakeholder dialogue series on public sector reforms in Ghana in Cape Coast.
The stakeholders took stock and identified emerging issues to shape Ghana's new reform strategy, 2025 to 2030. Yaw Osafumafu indicated the public sector has a huge role to play to deal with the unemployment issues that have become an albatross on the neck of the country.
The public sector should look at new ways of providing service to the citizens and the private sector so that there will be growth in the private sector to create employment for this country. I see unemployment as the #1 problem of Ghana, and therefore the service must be moving in the direction of creating employment. And employment cannot be created through expansion of the civil and the public sector. Can you double the intake from the various ministries? If you do, how would you pay them? But we can have a situation where people come in with new technology, establish certain industries, establish certain agricultural ventures to create employment. I think that the Minister of Agriculture should narrow itself to policy. Now, Minister of Agriculture knows, and we all know, that we have a lot of good arable land in this country. Ghana has a lot of arable land. We have good rainfall pattern. And where we don't have it, we can even irrigate. So how do we attract young men and women into farming? By creating a market for them, by making it look lucrative and easy. That's how I see it. These are some of the things I talk, thinking outside the box. When you say people should go and look for job from where? They should look for a job that comes out of our land and the land we have. So why don't we make it easy for people to go into agriculture? If we create a market for them, they don't have to be looking for where to sell their product because you have a system to sell for them. I've been preaching for years, people going into agriculture. Nobody is going. So it means that our method of preaching is not working. So let's think outside the box. Let's create a situation to make it easy for young graduates like some of you, to get into farming.
Head of the Local Government Service, Dr. Nana Atuata, underscored the need for both sectors to collaborate to engineer growth and development.
If we want to assign a specific activity for an entity, let's make sure that it is that entity that is undertaking that assignment, not that same entities are doing the same things, and of course, cost becomes more, there's competition and all those things. It will be difficult for us to actually deliver the efficient, effective public service that we want to do.
Head of Civil Service, Dr. Evans Agredakun, says even though the Fourth Republic has seen an astronomical growth in Ghana, there is more to be done to improve the socio-economic conditions in the country.
We've made tremendous progress under the Fourth Republic than any of the republics that we've had. I mean, check the number of people, the women who have gone to school. We have more women educated today than ever before in the history of this country. Look at access to water, look at access to roads. Even though we still have problems, it doesn't mean we have not made progress. What we are saying is that we deserve better. That is what it is, that we are institutionalizing reforms. And for me, that is an admission that there's something good can always be done.
The stakeholders are dialoguing to adopt the best of strategies to ensure the public sector and the private sector coexist to provide the best services to the populace.
The Ghana National Association of Authors and Publishers has announced a price hike in books, including fictional and non-fictional textbooks for preschool, primary, junior high, and senior high schools. Effective September 2024, prices of most textbooks will go up by at least 60%. The association attributes the adjustments to escalating port charges, including the COVID-19 levy and AU levy, and the high value-added taxes on imported books.
High inflation, increasing fuel prices, rising exchange rate and high import duties are factors considered in increasing the prices of books. According to the Ghana Association of Authors and Publishers, it cannot sit unconcerned for the book industry, which contributes significantly to economic growth, to collapse. At a press conference in Kumasi, President of the association, John Akwesi Amponsa, highlighted the challenges in the book industry, mainly due to high taxes.
In recent time, macroeconomic indicators such as higher inflation, high interest rate, high exchange rate have called on us to take serious actions to remediate our industry from collapsing. Government, directly or indirectly, in its bid to avoid higher importation of books, has come up with several elements within the documents we have. This is a trade document. If you go to the port today to clear 140-footer container, something that is already stated to us that no port duties because of Florence Agreement, you end up paying about 290,000 Ghana cedis to clear books for kindergarten, to clear books for crèche, to clear books for primary schools.
Mr. Frimpong says the industry players are not enthused with the hikes in the prices of books. From September 2024, primary school textbooks selling between 50 and 60 Ghana cedis will see a significant increase to 80 Ghana cedis, while books for junior high and senior high schools currently sold at 50 to 80 Ghana cedis will increase to 80 and 180 Ghana cedis. The publishers are urging the government to withdraw taxes imposed on imported books.
From September, credit for bulk purchases in exceptional cases shall not extend beyond 40 days from the time of purchase and delivery at a discount of 10%. Again, we also want to make a passionate appeal to government that this is phase one of our reaction to prices. Phase one. Phase two is just at the corner. We are pleading with the government. We know he has the strongest arm, but we are pleading with him to do something about the VAT that he has recently introduced on books.
For Joy News, Nana Boache Dankwa Yadom, Kumasi.
President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Jumfo, and other leading members of the Ghana Independent Broadcasting Association, GIBA, have added their voices to the calls for a load management timetable for the country as the ongoing erratic power supply continues to bite hard on broadcasting equipment and productivity. The call comes following a power outage that rocked the Accra International Press Center on Thursday afternoon, disrupting a planned press conference for over 2 hours. My colleague Carlos Coloni has the rest of the story.
Contrary to President Akufo Addo's assurance that the era of doomsday power outages is over, many parts of Ghana continue to grapple with erratic power supply. The latest victim of this unpredictable power situation was the Ghana International Press Center in Accra. On Thursday, May 9, 2024, the Ghana Journalists Association GJ's press conference, scheduled for 1:30 p.m., was delayed by 2 hours due to a sudden power outage at the press center. The event meant to address critical issues affecting the media fraternity and to provide an update on Farouk Mahama and Hawa Kumson's media blackout, initiated by GJ after supposed assault on some journalists left journalists and media personnel frustrated and stranded for hours. Speaking at the press conference, GJ President Albert Jumfo urged the government to double its efforts in finding a lasting solution to the power crisis as it threatens the job security of journalists.
Another trend that gives cause for concern is the ongoing energy crisis, which is having a toll on the finances and operations of the media, particularly the broadcast media. The government should double its effort to restore stability in power supply to avert the closure of broadcast stations and consequent loss of jobs. We know it is affecting us in so many ways, affecting productivity, even having a toll on the economic condition of journalists. In recent time, when we look at the recent report from the Reporters Without Borders, the NDC, or the indicator, which was recently included about 3-4 years ago, being the economic indicator, has really affected Ghana negatively, and that has pushed Ghana to the bottom of the radar. We keep sinking on the ranking due to this economic indicator.
On his part, President of the Ghana Independent Broadcasting Association, GIBA, Cecil Sonkwamil, said the unplanned power cuts are damaging broadcasting equipment and causing loss of revenue, hence the need for a power shedding timetable.
I know we were late, and we're late because of some key issue which is affecting broadcasters too. Okay, besides the message we have, and that is the unplanned power cuts. That is how I want to call it. We've had a number of media organizations, we have received complaints. We've had disruption of broadcasting services, inability to meet deadlines, damage to equipment, and loss of revenue to some of the stations. And we know that they have quite difficult times. So we want also to use this platform to appeal that at least if there are challenges, give us a plan so we can plan, and then we can make revenue. We know how much fuel we need to buy, and we can even reschedule programs and protect our equipment.
Even though journalists would not speak on record, they lamented the dire impact the erratic power supply is having on their productivity, and also added their voices to the calls, saying the government should stop playing politics with the power situation as it threatens their job security. From Accra International Press Center, Carlos Coloni for Joy News.
Back here in the studio in Kokomleme, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Now, Municipal Chief Executive for WA, Ishaku Tahiru Mumin, says the construction of an irrigation at Kwerihi will improve the living standards of the people in the area. The 19 million Ghana cedis irrigation project, which is funded by the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority and the Government of Ghana, will provide employment for 5,000 people in the enclave. Unlike other field irrigation projects, he assured the people the latest irrigation project will be successful. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
Unlike their counterparts from the southern Gulf of the country, where they have 2 rainy seasons and are able to do all year-round farming, the situation in the northern belt is quite different. They depend on 1 rainy season, which lasts about 5 months, and a drought that lasts for about 7 months. More than 60% of the people in the enclave are farmers and sometimes are unable to have a successful farming season as a result of the erratic rainfall pattern. Government, in its bid to address the concerns of farmers in the area, included the construction of irrigation dams on the second phase of the Planting for Food and Jobs program. One of the beneficial communities in the Upper West region is Perihi, located in the Wa municipality. Wa municipal chief executive Isako Movement explains the motive behind the siting of the project at Perihi.
And then we have realized that augmenting the phase 2 with availability of water in the various communities is key for the success of the Planting for Food and Jobs phase 2. And I think that is why today we represented the government of His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia to come here this afternoon to hand over site for the construction of an irrigation dam.
25 young Ghanaians have successfully completed an entrepreneurship mentorship program from Ghana's leading business leaders. More in the following report.
The program, held in collaboration with the European Union in Ghana, aims at empowering startups and fostering young entrepreneurial talents in Ghana. It is an initiative of former Drive Time host on Joy FM and now Chief Executive of the EIB Network, Nathaniel Kwabena Edisi, known better as Bolare in the media space, to mark 25 years of his work as a broadcaster. The candidates were selected based on their innovative startup ideas and taken through intensive mentoring, training, and finding at the feet of Ghana's leading business leaders such as chief executives of KGL Group, Alex Dade, Equity Insurance Boss, Elton Afari, Reese & Co. CEO, Jeff Sowa, Specialized Group Chairman, Ernest Oforisapong, among others, with the EU Ambassador to Ghana, Echid Razali, as the Grand Mentor. Founder of My Clean app, Stephen Selom Bejra, emerged as the winner at a climax dinner, receiving 10,000 cedis in prize money and an opportunity to attend the Global Entrepreneurship Festival in Nigeria later this year.
And His Excellency Razali, thank everyone here, Jeff Sowa, Elton. God bless you all. God bless you.
Other winners were Emmanuel Lucky Ade, founder and CEO of Aquaponic, and Wilson Nikwe Jani, CEO of Nivet Foods, who were awarded 6,000 and 4,000 cedis respectively. Bolare said he was excited that his initiative has empowered the candidates and was hopeful of a successful business journey for them.
I know during the pitch process, some of you cried. I saw the videos. I saw some of you were thrilled. Some of you were heartbroken. But I can't tell you, it's just the school of life. Yes, it was a competition, but all of you are winners in your own rights. That's what I want to assure you. You're going out into a world, yes, to compete, but you come out tops. You have shared your knowledge. The mentors have been there for you. Their experiences. And that's one thing. I watched the videos from A to Z, and every mentor brought something special to the table. People are paying thousands of dollars to sit in classrooms for their MBAs, for their PhDs, for such insights. You got it for free. And please, a round of applause for them. For my grand mentor, It was wisdom personified. Awesome global insights to help us navigate our business. And indeed, shape the next generation of entrepreneurs. You provided valuable insights, constructive feedback. And I know many of you with your business plan and your structure, it has been tweaked after this program. I have some calls from some of you mentees saying that, well, now the business approach and the model is going to change. Certainly, that's what we want. We want you to reach your full potential. So tonight, as we come to celebrate achievement that you have chalked as young entrepreneurs, let us also remember the spirit of giving back. When God gets to bless us along the way in all that we do, let's give back and support others. Let's pay forward. It is important. Let's hold hands and win together.
The EU ambassador to Ghana, Elchid Rosali, urged participants not to focus on where they are coming from, but on where they want to drive their businesses.
We're still live on Joy News Desk. Let's take a break. We are back with business.
Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. The UNICEF Deputy Representative in Ghana, Fiakwa Makase, has emphasized the need for young Ghanaian businesses to be innovative in developing essential products for the market. She was speaking at the ceremony to welcome the 2024 cohort of the UNICEF Startup Labs 2024 Accelerator Program, aimed at harnessing the power of technology and entrepreneurship to drive social change and improve the lives of children and young people across the country.
Out of over 500 initial applications, the 25 selected startups represent a wide range of sectors, including education, health, agri-tech, frontier technologies, and more. In an interview with Joy Business, UNICEF Deputy Representative for Ghana, Fiakwa Makase, emphasized the importance of effective accelerator programs for startups in the country.
And so working together here with West Africa, we're able to deliver an accelerator program over 6 months. And this helps the businesses not only become stronger, but then also to link with us at UNICEF to understand the markets where they work. So many of them, for example, are involved in healthcare delivery. Others are involved in education, particularly in EdTech. Others more are looking at green solutions. So we are connecting them to our experts in-house and also across the world to really impart to them some of the expertise technically that they can use to develop a stronger business product or service.
The program's director at MEST Africa, Femi Adewomi, also spoke about the significance of capacity building for young entrepreneurs.
In Ghana, and same as in Africa actually, a lot of young entrepreneurs and startups don't have the kind of support that they need. They don't have support to get them ready for investment discussions. They don't have the support to even help them build internal capacity to access the market. And this partnership helps us do that. MEST has a very big network of experts. We have a very big community of entrepreneurs already that have graduated and are alumni from our different programs. And UNICEF also and KOICA come also with a very big network of internal competencies in the various sectors that they also bring to the table. So this partnership is actually very critical to helping young entrepreneurs.
The Senior Deputy Country Director of KOICA Ghana, Bosom Jan, further endorsed the initiative's approach to supporting startups.
We strongly believe the potential of startups. Today we met together. There are 25 startups today. Well, I believe that they will make a strong impact in a long-term vision in Ghana. It is because the startup ecosystem is one of the important things when it comes to economics and innovation. Through this project, we strongly expect they will make an impact at their community level.
The UNICEF Startup Lab program in Ghana is supported by the Korea International Cooperation Agency and implemented by MEST Africa.
Now, Politan Ghana Limited, a member of the Mohinani Group, has joined forces with Societe Generale Bank to set up a $13 million plastic waste recycling plant in Ghana. The managing director of SG Ghana, Uzani Hakim, highlighted the enormous potential of the plant to recycle about 23,000 metric tons of waste annually, which aligns with the bank's sustainability goals. He spoke to Joy Business at the MOU signing ceremony.
Ghana generates a staggering amount of daily waste with only a small fraction collected and disposed of properly. To address this challenge, Polytan Ghana Limited and Societe Generale Ghana have joined forces to build a new $30 million recycling plant.
A project which demonstrates the capacity of our industry in Ghana to not only bring added value or industrial added value, but also to add to that the sustainability and the positive impact for the economy. And by this financing of above $10 million that we have made to support this project, we are really happy to see that it is going and it is realizing now. There we are continuing to support the green project. So this is why we are doing it. It's in our DNA, it's our ESG goals, and this project particularly is within, at a minimum, 4 of the SDG goals.
Executive Director of the Mohinani Group, Ashok Mohinani, expressed confidence in the project's potential.
Waste is a menace. We all know about it. And so I'm excited that, we're finding a solution to it. By putting up this bottle-to-bottle plant, which essentially means that you're collecting and it's, finding a sustainable solution to the current menace we have. Yeah.
The recycling plant will have the capacity to recycle about 23,000 metric tons of waste annually. By tackling waste management issues head-on, the project contributes significantly to global efforts to combating climate change. Winston Taki reporting for Joy Business.
And that's it for the segment. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. The news returns after this break.
And as I wrap up the bulletin this morning, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. I'll see you again at 12.